Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
This is a master plan draft for the centennial in 1996 to spread the message of this great movement throughout the Western world and to establish once and for all the credibility of Hare Krishnas and the credibility of Prabhupada.
The centennial can give people a jump start on getting their goals accomplished. Maybe 10-year goals can be achieved in 3 years. And it also is an opportunity for devotees to meld together as a big family. If nothing else, we hope this centennial will bring Prabhupada's family much closer together and give us the realization that Prabhupada did indeed build a house in which everyone can live.
This opportunity in 1996 to recognize and worship Srila Prabhupada through a centennial is very, very important for ISKCON. Not only that it allows us to unify around Srila Prabhupada and appreciate and glorify him for ourselves and for others, but it also offers us a special opportunity to make people of America and around the world aware of the positive contributions that ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada's movement, has to offer them.
Some years ago, East and West Germany was combined. Now we have in total 18 million people. So we like to know them, who Srila Prabhupada is. So usually we have Prabhupada marathon once a year and for 4 weeks. But in 1996, so we like to make a marathon for 12 months. So because Srila Prabhupada said once, if you like to know me, if you like to know me, then read my books. So to read Srila Prabhupada's books, you have to get them. So once a year, when we have the Srila Prabhupada marathon, so everyone takes part in it. And in 1996, we like that everyone takes part in it. Congregation members, Grihastha community, Sankirtan devotees, everyone.
Every evening after the Gora Arti, we have Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita classes. Every evening, 7 days a week. Speak about Prabhupada, read from Satsvarup Maharaj's books, and read from Hari Sauri Prabhu's new books. Also, I'm in charge of the Sankirtan here in the Benelux, so we try to adopt the same centennial mood also in the Sankirtan by having Sri Prabhupada posters on the different Sankirtan events which we have with different logos related to the centennial. So one important thing about centennial is the financial aspect, of course. So the global centennial ministry, they created a very nice plan, the so-called Kailash action from 1,000 different places, holy places in India. They will collect the water and put it in big pots and put it in the different Kailashas, which will be distributed all over the world to bathe Srila Prabhupada on this Vyasa Puja day in 1996. The person who wants to bathe Srila Prabhupada on that day here in Bangladesh, they can give a donation of $600 approximately. They will receive a Kailash and they will have the opportunity to bathe Srila Prabhupada on that particular day. And these funds which they gave us, these donations, we use for all the different projects which we were planning in the Benelux in 1996.
We want to help individuals to contribute to the movement as they would like. This is like Varnashram. Everybody should be situated serving Srila Prabhupada as they're inspired to do, and at the same time that the movement should support all the individuals as they need. So these are 3 areas we want to unite Srila Prabhupada's family so that devotees can associate lovingly with real love and trust and establish Srila Prabhupada's mission, spread Krishna consciousness all over Europe, all over the world.
ISKCON Foundation is going to try and help the temples become very strong in their preaching and management activities so that we can have a movement that Prabhupada is very proud of on his centennial anniversary. That's what we want to offer him, something that he's very proud of, a good, strong, well-managed, strongly preaching organization. Prabhupada said, my body is Indian, but my
planning is American, so we're going to use everything America has to offer to make ISKCON very strong and very dynamic.
Prabhupada Centennial provides an opportunity to join together, to host these special events, to bring in our congregation, and to feel good, to save our spiritual lives by preaching Krishna consciousness to our congregation and to our well-wishers.
Srila Prabhupada has given us Krishna, and this is what we want to highlight in our centennial celebration. We want to bring Krishna, just as Srila Prabhupada brought to us. We want to bring Krishna to the people of India in a very spectacular way and show them that it was Srila Prabhupada, by his pure devotion to Krishna, that made it all possible.
This year there were 14 or 15 Rath Yatras in Malaysia just this year. We produced their newsletter earlier this year. We hope to do this on a regular basis. Srila Prabhupada's Centennial newsletter specifically for Malaysia. We're also planning to do a book in Tamil language. One of the main languages of Malaysia is the Tamil language, and one of our devotees is very enthusiastic to translate a book about Prabhupada's life into Tamil, which we want to distribute in mass throughout all of the Tamil-speaking people of Malaysia.
This is used a cap used in all the Rath Yatras where the devotees use this and publicize the centennial. And then we have nice pin-on badges which are also used by devotees in all meetings, sadhu sanghas, and distributed also to the public.
One of our devotees has also been making, these are actually bookmarkers. Perhaps you can see Srila Prabhupada's Centennial on one side. On the other side is a very nice tulsi leaf. These are hand-painted. This lady is 70 years old, and she's done 8,000 of these. And they're being distributed to all the temples around the world.
Resting high on Hare Krishna Hill, the new temple will be visible from many parts of Bangalore. The temple complex will also include an amphitheater, conference hall, restaurant, boutique, and guest house.
One of the major events during the 1996 festivals will be the grand opening of the Sri Sri Radha Parthasati Temple and Glory of India Vedic Culture Center. This project comprises of the three phases: the temple complex, the museum complex, and the multimedia auditorium complex. This was Prabhupada's desire that there should be at least one unique and big temple in Delhi and 10 small temples. So this is only the first step towards pleasing Srila Prabhupada's desires.
For Prabhupada's Centennial in 1996, the Bhaktivedanta Archives is very pleased to invite all devotees to participate by establishing a Bhaktivedanta library in their home. The Bhaktivedanta library consists of all of Srila Prabhupada's books, all of Srila Prabhupada's lecture tapes, and all of his videotapes, as well as CDs. And we even have the computer program. By 1996, you'll be able to make a personal offering. You'll be able to say, Prabhupada, I have each and every one of your books, everything. I have it. You've given it. You're so kind. Please accept my humble obeisances. Jai.
And inspired by the archives, ITV has formatted and packaged all the film and video of Prabhupada ever taken into a beautiful library of 20 video cassettes so that you can experience the association of the pure devotee in his vapu, his form, as well as his vani, his instructions, all enhanced by subtitles of the lectures and digitally enhanced picture and sound.
But the main event that we'll be doing is the hosting the Second World Congress for the Synthesis of Science and Religion, to be held in Calcutta, January 1996. Srila Prabhupada in Vrindavan 1977 left his divine instructions saying we must organize conferences in every city of the world and invite scientists and scholars and expose them to Krishna consciousness and Bhagavad culture. So praying Srila Prabhupada's blessings. This Congress is planned to be the Congress of century, 20th century, both in size as well as in content. More than 5,000 scientists, including 20 Nobel laureates and great thinkers of the world, will be invited to this Congress, and the Bhagavad culture and the Bhagavad science will be prominently presented.
And now we are kind of possessed with this Srila Prabhupada Centennial campaign, and we are encouraging all the organizers of Padayatra to make Centennial as the theme of their walks and introduce Prabhupada to the masses, tell them who he is, so that he is recognized all over the world.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Get involved today. Contact the Centennial Ministry. Attention Prashanta Dasi, 62 Sant Nagar, near east of Kailash, New Delhi 110065, India. And write to the same address for your subscription to the Prabhupada Toshini, the Centennial newsletter. Padayatra is a Sanskrit word for walking festival. It has been used in India for thousands of years as an effective way to spread spiritual teachings. "500 years ago, God himself, in his incarnation of Lord Chaitanya, went on Padayatra. He traveled on foot throughout India for 6 consecutive years, all the while spreading the chanting of the holy names. All the great acharyas from the past went on Padayatra. Ramanujacharya performed 4 major Padayatras all over India, accompanied by his disciples. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur performed parikrams of the holy places of Vrindavan and Navadvip. Mahatma Gandhi, the the famous saint amongst politicians, organized padayatras. Padayatra is still a tradition today. In Maharashtra, devotees of Lord Krishna, in his form of Lord Vitala, perform yearly a pilgrimage by foot called Dindi Yatra. Over 200,000 pilgrims take part in the walk. While living in Jhansi, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, then known as Abhay Charande, went on Padayatra with his first disciple, Acharya Prabhakar. They returned to Jhansi, spending one day in each of the 5 villages along the way. Every evening, the villagers would gather, and Abhay would lead kirtan and preach the message of Krishna consciousness. In 1976, Prabhupada asked Lokanath Swami to organize bullock cart Sankirtan from village to village. He personally inaugurated the first run from Vrindavan to Mayapur. At the last moments of his life, Prabhupada wanted to go on parikrama in a bullock cart around Govardhan Hill. Everything was arranged, but due to Prabhupada's very weak physical condition, the plan was canceled. A few days later, Prabhupada departed from this mortal world. In order to fulfill his desire, the devotees performed parikrama of Govardhan Hill with a bullock cart carrying a portrait of Srila Prabhupada. In 1984, the GBC, governing body commissioners of ISKCON, decided to introduce something new in ISKCON to celebrate the 500th anniversary of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. Padayatra.
In 76, what we started was a bullock carts and kirtan. We were traveling with the help of big German buses, but then they had to go. When Prabhupada found out that I was left with no means of transportation, then in New Delhi, in fact, in Lajpat Nagar, Prabhupada was there for Radhastami time. He called me upstairs, and as we were discussing now what to do, I have a group of brahmacharis and now how I should travel, he came up with this idea of bullock carts and kirtan. So in Allahabad, when he found out how we were doing nicely in the villages, especially how we were begging, that we're depending on Krishna, and inviting people, chanting and speaking to them, and towards the end make them sit down and feed prasad. Prabhupada was so pleased to hear all that.
The walk started in Dwarka on Radhastami, September 1984, and ended in Mayapur on Gora Purnima, 1986. 7,000 kilometers were covered in 19 months. The route chosen retraced the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya 500 years ago. Padayatra India was a phenomenal success. It attracted hundreds of sannyasis, preachers, and devotees from around the world. Devotees from all ages participated. This elderly man exhibited the energy of a 20-year-old brahmachari, and this 90-year-old Gujarati lady walked for 1.5 years. Every evening, hundreds of villagers flocked to see your ever well-wisher. For most of them, it was the very first movie they ever saw. Padayatra met with fantastic receptions by officials and entire villages. With great enthusiasm and spontaneity, they welcomed the walking sadhus with musical bands, decorated auspicious maidens, applause by hundreds of school children in uniforms, artis to the bulls and deities, garlands, showers of flowers, and sumptuous prasadam. Hundreds of thousands of books and pamphlets were distributed, as well as innumerable plates of prasadam. Literally, millions of people benefited spiritually from the darshan of Srila Prabhupada and the deities of Nitai Gaur Sundar. When they arrived in Mayapur for Gaur Purnim, 1986, the Padayatris were received with a grand reception. To commemorate the walk, footprints of Lord Chaitanya were installed on a monument in the Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir gardens. But Padayatra did not stop after its ecstatic reception in Mayapur by the festival devotees.
We got into rhythm. We were on the road. We were happy. Huge success. So we just wanted to, the organizers of Padayatra, we just wanted to continue with it, and we did it.
Padayatra stayed on the road afterwards, up in the Himalayas, and back to Dwarka for a triumphant return in March 1988 after a 14,000-kilometer tour around India. On the occasion, the Padayatris inaugurated a 60-foot-tall gate at the entrance of the town. The monument was dedicated to Srila Prabhupada. Padayatra continued its journey through the Indian subcontinent and produced healthy offspring, such as Vrajamandal Parikrama, offering devotees from all over the world the opportunity to visit the holy places of Lord Krishna's pastimes. A refreshing swim in Kusham Sarovar. Krishna's slide.
You can put your chadar so we can make the offering.
Bhojan Thali, the plates where Krishna and Balaram actually ate. And lots of rice, dal, and chapatis for a hungry crowd of Padayatris. Navadvip Mandal Parikram provided a tremendous opportunity for the devotees to relish the transcendental sound of kirtan in the very land where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates performed Sankirtan 500 years ago. At the same time Padayatra India was going on, devotees organized an 18-month Padayatra in Mauritius, circumambulating the tiny island 3 times.
Padayatra is like the continuation of Mahaprabhu's walk 500 years ago. At that time he walked within India, but now he's going beyond the boundaries to bring the holy name personally. And Prabhupada is accompanying, so that is like he also continues to travel. So both of these personalities, Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, are being introduced to the public by Padayatris.
Initially, Lokanath Maharaj asked Jad Bharat, the main organizer of Padayatra in America, when he was visiting Radha Kund, to try to introduce Padayatra in the United States, as if it were proven successful there, then it pretty much could go anywhere. Maharaj also later asked me to assist him when I was on Padayatra in the Himalayas in 1987. From there, the idea came to the United States, and it took the interest of both Mukunda Maharaj and Badri Narayan, who was then temple president of San Diego, now GBC for California. And they invited us to come on over to California and gave us the facility.
Most people didn't believe that Padayatra could be done outside of India. So that problem, so basically we had the problem of convincing people and also convincing ourselves that it could actually happen, So our initial problem was then to do the research of whether it was legal to walk, whether, what kind of route would you walk on, and then also to get the cooperation of the devotees in general.
In 1989, Abhay Das and Jad Bharat Das organized Padayatra in America. On May 28th, Padayatra America took off with a flying start in Berkeley, California. Mukunda Goswami gave the assembled devotees a transcendental tour of the places of Srila Prabhupada's pastimes in San Francisco. At this department store, Malati Devi discovered ISKCON's first Jagannath deities. They went to Chinatown, to the first Radha Krishna temple on Frederick Street in the Haight-Ashbury district. And they visited Golden Gate Park's Hippie Hill, where Prabhupada's chanting and dancing attracted so many. There was a fantastic installation ceremony of the Padayatra deities, Sri Sri Nitai Gaur Sundar. The next day, a group of 30 international devotees took off for 3 months on the road, walking an average of 8 to 12 miles a day. It was a 1,000-mile walk from San Francisco to Tijuana at the Mexican border.
We're just a little north of San Luis Obispo at a state park, taking showers by bucket and eating outdoors for the next 3 days.
Devotees loved it instantly. It was spiritual adventure and fun. Adventure, yes. Chaos, no. 2 advance parties went ahead of the walkers to make arrangements concerning accommodations, prasadam, route, and preaching programs. All along the coast from San Francisco to San Diego, Padayatris were graciously hosted by many Gujarati families owning motels. The Padayatra party was giving many friends a chance to render practical service and associate with devotees in their homes. Padayatra America was like a colorful Harinam party. The deities were being carried on a palanquin. Devotees were chanting, distributing books and cookies along the way. Padayatra caught onlookers' attentions and interest. They would stop to listen to the quick speeches, make inquiries, get a book or a sweet, chant, and dance with wild abandon. Devotees living far from temples enjoyed the Padayatris association. The feeling of all belonging to Prabhupada's family was rekindled. Once again, after reaching their destination, Tijuana, Padayatris wanted to keep on walking. It was too good to stop. For a few months, they walked in Mexico and Belize. Padayatris went to the East Coast to prepare the walk from Boston to Miami. ISKCON and Padayatra leaders took advantage of their presence in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., to publicize the plight of 6 U.S. temples threatened by Robin George. For 2.5 months, they staged a 24-hour prayer vigil not far from the White House. Just like on the West Coast, media coverage was abundant and positive. American Padayatris featured almost daily in newspapers. In New York City, they visited all the places where Prabhupada lived in 1965 and 1966. The first Radha Krishna temple on 2nd Avenue, Tompkins Square Park, and the Bowery. Padayatra America was going strong with only a small group of determined devotees. And like Prabhupada having come to America to begin the Hare Krishna movement, Padayatra America became the catalyst. It proved to be a powerful preaching tool.
What TV camera you?
Channel 2.
Channel 2 here in Greensboro. Hey, what's your name, sir?
My name's Mike Burke.
Pleased to meet you, Mike.
Hey, you guys have a good time and be safe on the road now.
1990 marked the beginning of the Padayatra explosion, and pretty soon amazing results would be coming as many countries started to organize their own Padayatra, one after another. Padayatra was meant to bring the holy names and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya to many remote towns, villages, and places. In Guyana, it reached the most unfortunate residents of a leper colony. Over the years, devotees conducted many small Padayatras along the only existing road of their country. In 1990, Parashuram Das, a native from Ireland, made a dream come true, Padayatra Ireland. In this country, torn by long years of war between Catholics and Protestants, the general population and the media were eagerly capturing the message of peace and goodwill of the Padayatris. Interviews with Parashuram Das and Lokanath Swami were aired on primetime TV.
Well, at least for ourselves, for self-purification, always it's been traditional that people travel on pilgrimage to improve their spiritual life. And also we're hoping to spread a little peace as we go along.
We are here with the chanting to help the troubles here and all over. Everywhere there's some kind of trouble. So we have a solution, that is chanting the names of God.
Padayatra provided many opportunities for interfaith dialogue as devotees were hosted in monasteries. Monks would never refuse them anything: beds, facilities, milk and vegetables, and donations. There was a congenial atmosphere on Padayatra, as many Padayatris were devotees living outside or Gurukula children from England and France. Italy was next. Padayatra Italy was the first Padayatra fully backed by a temple, Villa Vrindavan. Except for a few devotees, everybody went on Padayatra. The devotees organized an 18-day walk from their farm community to Assisi, birthplace of the famous Christian saint, St. Francis. Devotees participated in an international congress for the protection of animals. Temple President Krishna Chaitanya Das compared Padayatra to a positive spiritual infection. Devotees were coming back, inspired and rejuvenated spiritually, so they decided to keep this program going every year. It has already taken place for 3 consecutive years. In January 1991, Padayatra took birth in the Southern Hemisphere, in the South Island of New Zealand. Inspired by the enthusiasm of Yasu Dulal Das, the whole Christchurch temple backed up the efforts. Padayatra in New Zealand turned out to be the most well-organized and best-attended Padayatra ever. The theme was Steps Towards Peace. Devotees thought it was going to be good, but not that good. As the Padayatra fever was catching on, another Padayatra was organized in 1993. On the road, the spirits were high, the mood of cooperation complete. The preaching very sweet. 40 to 100 devotees were on Harinam daily. In most towns, the parade was greeted by the mayor of the town or councilors. Padayatra New Zealand inaugurated a new program in ISKCON, the Mayor's Bhakta Program. Every day, Padayatra appeared on one or more front pages of newspapers. ISKCON's famous motto, simple living and high thinking, was being practically put into action by the devotees and demonstrated to the friendly onlookers.
In both ways, Lord is giving directions to living entities so that he may finish up his material activities and come back home, back to Godhead.
For the married couples with children, life on Padayatra was a refreshing alternative. Within the context of their own nuclear family and the extended devotee family, parents could recharge their spiritual batteries. For many, Padayatra meant a vacation from the normal worries and anxieties, an escape from the cloistered and polluted city life, a breath of fresh air, a chance to exercise in the open, healthy and abundant prasadam. For the children, Padayatra was an exciting outing. learning a new skill was available to all. Cooking, animal husbandry, setting up tents at campsites, book distribution, dramas, etc. Every evening, there was a program for the public. The best aspect of the preaching went unspoken. People could see that devotees liked each other and were enjoying life in each other's association. New Zealand Padayatris will enjoy life on the road until 1996. They have pledged to circumambulate both islands as an offering to Srila Prabhupada. The second leg of Padayatra Europe's walk, from Belfast to Moscow, started in Newcastle in May 1991. In England, spirits were high as the Padayatris went on chanting and dancing in the rain and cold for most of 10 weeks of the Padayatra. A popular saying goes, "Don't bring your coal to Newcastle. Newcastle has already enough of it." The devotees did not bring coal, but gold. Indeed, they had brought real gold in the form of the deity of Lord Chaitanya. The inauguration lecture given by Lokanath Swami was broadcast the same evening on local television channels. For the 40 devotees walking, it was a chance to become transcendental and rich in austerity, which is supposed to be the wealth of the Brahmins. For the 15 children, it was simply fun. Kids loved Padayatra. They did not have to walk the whole time, as there was a special cart provided for them. They were very much part of it. They were the actors, singers, and dancers during the festivals. They were all on the road for a change. That was the chosen theme in England, on the road for change. Change of what? A change of heart and consciousness.
Bullocks onto the Woolwich ferry. But the chief said yes, and off went the temple with happy Hare Krishna disciples and the bullocks sandwiched between a lorry and a pantechnicon. Someone asked why they couldn't walk on water. Or maybe that would have been asking too much. At Woolwich, this is Christopher Peacock for London Tonight.
In Amsterdam, 108 devotees assembled for a huge Harinam. Under the guidance of Brahma Ratadas and his wife Brinda Tulsi, they visited the sites of Prabhupada's pastimes. Farmers and the police turned out to be very cooperative. Walking through Belgium, Padayatra arrived in France just in time to participate in the biggest flea market in Europe, the famous Braderie de Lille. During the entire weekend, the presence of the Hare Krishnas did not go unnoticed to the 1,700,000 festival goers who attended. The Hare Krishna Corner, a gas station temporarily converted into a stage complete with stalls and booths, was packed day and night till 3 in the morning. The highlight was the Harinam that took place for hours in the thick crowd. This country, where the negative cult image is still prominent, people's opinion of the devotees was improved when they met them personally, got a chance to have a friendly talk with them, and witnessed their daily activities. In doing flamenco near Paris, the mayor and his staff offered the best reception. Flowers for the deities, bottles of sparkling cider, the sober people's champagne, bags of fresh fruit and nuts, and even a donation. Devotees in Paris took advantage of the presence of Padayatra to hold a combined festival, Rath Yatra, Padayatra style. The last Rath Yatra had taken place 10 years ago. The second leg of Padayatra Europe ended in the freezing cold in New Mayapur. In the exotic paradise of Fiji, everyone was surprised by the turnout. 20 devotees were expected, but over 100 people showed up. The head of the Hindu priest said in a public address that he firmly believed that the end of a drought and the avoidance of a cyclone were due to the performance of Harinam by the Padayatris. In Malaysia, Padayatra was advertising the devotees' fight against another public menace, drugs, considered the #1 enemy in this country. The evening programs were just packed. Officials appreciated the theme of Padayatra. Another island Padayatra, the Philippines. After India, Filipinos have shown the best response to Padayatra. Tamal Krishna Goswami stated that Padayatra was the best preaching program for the country. Padayatra proved to be easily transformed into Rath Yatras, like we've seen in France, or into a traveling festival band. In big cities, festival concerts were organized in Western fashion, which attracted the interest of the many young Filipinos. Devotees were not left behind as far as appreciation was concerned. Devotees plan to walk the 700 islands. All over the world, with every step taken, Padayatris are making history. They will be counted among those who made the prophecy of Lord Chaitanya come true, to bring the holy name to every town and village. Bringing Krishna to you was the theme chosen by the next country, Australia.
Что ты будешь делать там в России?
Пропагандировать сознание Кришны, путешествовать по городам и всем людям говорить о сознании Кришны.
He's going to propagate Krishna consciousness by traveling to every town and village and telling everybody about Krishna.
Okay, thanks.
Australia Padayatra once again demonstrated the all-attractive nature of Padayatra. Many sannyasis spent time with the walk. Mukunda Goswami, Prabhavishnu Swami, Ramai Swami, Indradumna Swami, and Lokanath Swami. Mayors were given a warm reception. In all the towns visited by Padayatra, the media was giving good press and advertising all the events. Devotees were also printing and distributing leaflets and putting up posters. Harinam was a hot item as the #1 attention grabber. The general public was interested and attracted. Devotees loved it.
I felt that the attitude among the devotees was very mature, very enthusiastic, and everybody was inspired and inspired each other. So ecstatic, it was so wonderful. I think it was the best time of my life in Krishna consciousness.
Food for Life proved to be the last word in convincing the people that devotional service is a more natural way of living.
School programs. In a lot of towns where we passed schools, they were all out to see us. We had some really wonderful times with school children. They're very open. They love to see the bullocks. They love the chanting. They dance. They hands in the air. And if anyone knows the circumstance of the last North Sydney Padayatra parade, that was wonderful. There was like 200 schoolgirls walking in the street, dancing in the street, chanting with us. So definitely we should concentrate on the younger generation, on the school kids. Padayatra was even given the opportunity to be part of a local festival and parade organized by the local people. And all were transcendently benefited by the darshan of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Gaura Nitai.
It was a grand success, and it's like a new wave in spreading Krishna consciousness. As Srila Prabhupada himself said once, I consider 50% of my mission complete, or 50% of my mission underway to print, publish, and distribute transcendental literatures. And then he said, my other mission, 50%, I would like to introduce Varnashram-type villages centered around the benefits of the cow and the bull. Srila Prabhupada wanted hundreds of millions of these carts all over the world. And It has all the infallible ingredients of instant success.
And most of all, Krishna's favorite pets, cows, bulls, and oxen, were happy. On Padayatra, everyone, devotees and onlookers, got a chance to reawaken or develop their love for the oxen.
Just making
By the summer of 1992, more countries had organized Padayatra, such as Canada. After 2 weeks on the road, Padayatra had generated over a $3,000 profit. What to speak of a lot of media attention. In Spain, local devotees teamed up with a few seasoned members of the Moscow team to inaugurate the third section of Padayatra Europe. The Olympic Games brought the thousands of people to Barcelona, where the devotees led ecstatic kirtans on Rath Yatra Day. Spanish people gave a friendly welcome to Padayatra, especially the older generations. The arrival of the Padayatris was even announced on the loudspeaker system of many small towns. Mother Renika and the advance party went ahead of the walkers to make all the arrangements. Hare Krishna March for Peace is coming. The peace walkers went through France again, creating a sensation with their gentle oxen in the land of bullfighting.
Haribo,
In spite of the scorching sun, the devotees went ahead, appreciating the beauty of the sea and the country, giving to the countless tourists the opportunity to receive Krishna consciousness, especially in the many festivals that happened at this time throughout the country. The oxen's shoes had to be changed a few times.
the point, he wakes up because we don't let him breathe.
The goal of Moscow was getting closer with each step, as devotees took a boat to Greece, the land of holiday for millions of vacationers. Entering an Orthodox country, it was a challenge from the start. The oxen were refused to enter Greece for a few days.
We've experienced that if their lordships are desiring to go somewhere or do something, there's very little anyone can do about it. Police, government, whatever. They cannot be stopped.
When they finally arrived in Patras, getting permission to walk through the city seemed rather an impossible task until Krishna intervened. The powerful Greek mystic police magically showed up at the devotees' camp, offering to solve their problem. For the next 5 days, they escorted them, making sure everything was running smoothly. The fun-loving Greeks gave Padayatra a good reception, a reward for the Padayatri's determination.
The simple Padayatra formula, Harinam, Prasadam, and book distribution, also proved successful in a remote corner of this planet, Siberia. Led by Angira Munidas, CIS devotees adapted Padayatra to their own geographical situation. In Siberia, distances are huge between cities. For 4 months, devotees traveled by train to 40 major cities, performing long harinams that were attracting big crowds. At the moment, in Russia, devotees are preparing for a future without fuel and using the Padayatra solution, bullock cart transportation. Country after country is coming to realize the multiple beneficial aspects of Padayatra and the value of the oxen. Rupa became the most popular of the Padayatris in Sweden. For 3 weeks, 15 to 20 devotees walked in Sweden. The group swelled to 80 for Mahaharinams in big cities. Being on the road together 24 hours a day, Padayatris experienced firsthand the potency of Padayatra to unite devotees. On the opposite side of the globe, another Padayatra was still going strong after many years, Padayatra America, now headed by Shanakadas. After the West Coast Walk in 1989, the devotees had started another long stretch from Boston to Miami in 1990. In December 1991, Krishna fulfilled the long-cherished desire of the Padayatris by sending a pair of beautiful oxen, Nakula and Balaram. Padayatra America had now another theme, cow protection. In a land of steaks and hamburgers, the oxen became a center of attraction. The press was now coming on its own. No more need to call them. In Miami, the devotees decided to keep on going, this time through Central America. They walked through the 7 countries of Central America, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras, Nicaragua, and finally reached Panama. The cart was built with available materials, simple but nice. Interested neighbors joined the devotees for the opening ceremony. They passed through many remote mountain villages where the people received them with great curiosity. The sincerity with which people came forward to render service was striking to the American Padayatris. Padayatras experienced many austerities, faced many tribulations and dangers, intense heat and cold, rain and thunderstorm, humid swamp teeming with alligators, snakes, and dangerous insects, perilous mountain roads, accidents, illnesses, legal difficulties at some borders, an untrained horse who refused to pull the cart, and more serious ones, the presence of guerrillas not far, fields full of landmines from recent wars. In Nicaragua, a 45-foot tidal wave smashed into a coastal town just 15 kilometers from the Padayatra campsite. Sometimes finances would get down to nothing, but somehow the next day there was enough to carry on, feed the oxen, buy fuel for the vehicles, and whatever else was needed. distributing many leaflets and prasadam. The devotees were well received by the local Hindu community. Devotees' faith in Lord Chaitanya grew stronger with each passing day. After all, Padayatra was his own program, inaugurated 500 years ago. A new species can be added to the 8,400,000 species of life, the Padayatra species. Parashuram Prabhu certainly belongs to that one.
And that we, after completing Padayatra around London, we travelled to Sweden for a month, and then from there we continued to Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and as far as Leningrad in Russia. And from there we went to Germany and Luxembourg and then back to England. For the future we will have another tour of Europe, but this time we hope to encompass more, achieve more through drama, through nice Krishna conscious entertainment, and make the program evolve into a more festival program. At one time, Srila Prabhupada described Krishna consciousness as being a spiritual adventure, and Padayatra is like that. It's a true sadhu life, where traveling depending on Krishna for your food you eat, the place you sleep, the people you meet, or the whole preaching mission. And it's, to me, it takes in the whole of Prabhupada's philosophy, and the chanting is there, prasad distribution, book distribution, and so it's very attractive.
Every year, for a few months, he keeps Padayatra on the roads of England. His formula of a family Padayatra with a small number of walkers proves very successful. An analysis of newspaper articles covering ISKCON activities in England ranked Padayatra as the #1 generator of coverage, with 56 articles in 1992. 10 years after its start, Padayatra is still on the road. It is now on its 3rd tour of Holy India. Over 35,000 kilometers have been covered already, and the goal is to cover a distance of 50,000 kilometers by 1996. Gone are the camel, elephant, many vehicles, abundant supporters, and hundreds of devotees. India is now a synonym of austerity, counterbalanced by the immense spiritual benefits of visiting so many places of pilgrimage. नाम है नंदलाला हरि का प्यारा नाम है श्री राधे गोविंदा मन भजले हरि का प्यारा नाम है Padayatra India is headed by American-born Jai Vijay Das, who's been on the road non-stop since 1985.
When we're on the road in the country and we're able to think of the next holy place we're going to, it gives us inspiration, something to look forward to, time to meditate on the Lord.
Bearing with heat, drought, cold, and lack of manpower, a group of 10 to 20 devotees keeps bringing the holy name day after day to newer and newer villages.
I don't know what I've done to deserve to be able to be with Nitai Gaur Sundar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada accompany them all over India for the last 9 years. as we've been traveling 40,000 kilometers through various parts of India. And somehow or another, not only myself, but other Padiyatris have been able to participate in their pastime, reenacting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, which is eternal.
Padiyatra has been a full centennial project since 1986. The goal is to offer 100 countries by 1996, Prabhupada's centennial year.
And we are encouraging all the organizers of Padiyatra to make centennial as the theme of their walks and introduce Prabhupada to the masses, tell them who he is, so that he is recognized all over the world.
The Padiyatra worldwide headquarters are situated in New Delhi, India. The Padiyatra office team is kindling the Padiyatra fire through communication, paraphernalia, promotional materials, and other means. It supports Padiyatra worldwide by providing various assistance. Many items are available to practically help Padiyatra organizers. A manual on how to organize Padiyatra, a presentation folder for the advance party, slideshows and videos for fundraisers. The Padiyatra newsletter has been published non-stop since 1984 and has become a full-fledged 20-page magazine reporting about Padiyatras worldwide.
The sun goes down and evening falls, but where's parachute round? Shh, wake him. He's underneath the car. Haribo, Haribo. Some say when you're on the road, life is quite austere.